Hey, Niels Mahoney here from On Air Coach. Delighted to be speaking with the king of swing himself in his kitchen cooking his dinner. It's Ray Gelato. Hello, Ray.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Very well. I can almost smell what you're cooking there. What is it? What have we got for dinner tonight?
Arancini, which is, you probably know, but it's fried rice balls with some meat inside and some cheese. I'm doing it here. You can have a look at the rice cooking now. Yeah.
That's
my
not fair.
Kids love it, so I'm doing it for my kids tonight,
That's not fair. Do you do it from scratch?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
I do it from scratch, and it's a great dish. Then you either deep fry them or bake them in the oven. I'm going to bake them today because frying's too messy,
I can't see you going around the supermarket and getting the jar of Dolmio. It just doesn't go with the image, does it? It doesn't go with the lifestyle.
No, man, everything from scratch. All my sauces, everything from scratch. I don't believe in anything like ready-made,
Loving it, loving it. I want to ask, Ray, I first stumbled upon you, and I'm ashamed to admit, just a few months ago, Tracy Lee, who's my partner here, she hosts Jazzing It Up on United DJs on a Monday night. And every time she's on air, I say, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? And there was one night she played one of your tunes, right? And I said, who's that? And she goes, that's Ray Gelato. So I went and looked you up. And I thought, holy crap, have I never heard of this man before? Why, duh. So I went and watched all your stuff, and it just blew me away. And I was thinking to myself, how do you go from little Ray Gelato in his short pants kicking a football out the backyard to becoming the king of swing? How does that happen?
I don't know, man. I mean, I never set out to be a musician. When I left school, I was a painter and decorator for the council,
Yeah.
And I always loved the saxophone, and I love music. I love rock and roll music and rhythm and blues music. So my mum and dad bought me a sax, and I just used to practice to the records we had at home, the sort of rock and roll stuff like Little Richard and that. And then from that, I kind of graduated into the swing music, and the sort of roots American music. People like, all the big bands and Louis Jordan, Louis Prima, all this kind of stuff. So it kind of happened to me by accident in a way, and I was very influenced by a lot of the musicians I used to work with. They helped me along the way,
Yeah, most things, like you say, accident is the word. Most things do sort of happen by accident, but you have to find what you're great at. I mean, we have lots of accidents in our lives, but suddenly you find you're particularly good at one thing, right?
I did take to the saxophone pretty quick, and I never really studied any music at school. So I guess I was a fairly natural, I think it sounds funny to say, but quite a natural musician. I'm more of an ear musician. I'm not a great on paper. But, I learned that later on. But, I just found my calling, and I found that swing music. Well, that swing music was a good vehicle for me because it's a little more challenging than sort of rock and roll. And it keeps you, it's a constant learning experience, learning jazz and swing. And I love all sorts of jazz music, and I love all sorts of American music, what I call the roots music,
Now, I've noticed, I was looking at your bio, and you had some gigs coming up in April, gigs coming up in June and whatnot. They're obviously, yeah, I know. But I love the fact that you're doing Coffee Mornings with Ray, with all your listeners and all your fans. I like that. That's a great way to keep connected, isn't it?
Well, I got to be honest with you, for all of us live musicians, it was a huge blow. The last gig we did was in Bulgaria about just over 2 weeks ago. That was almost cancelled, but they said they wanted us out there. And the second night was cancelled, and the city went into lockdown, and it was one of the saddest moments of my life to say goodbye to my band guys, because we've been, last year was our 25th anniversary, so we're all drinking in this one bar we found open. We're having a few scotches and whatever, and to actually say goodbye to guys and not know when I was going to see them again, it was kind of heartbreaking,
It's a bit surreal, right? Everything's a bit surreal at the minute.
Really surreal. Exactly as I'll just simmer my rice. Yeah, exactly. That's the word.
Check your rice, mate. Check your rice. Don't let it go. Don't let it burn. Don't mind us.
And that's why I'm doing the Coffee with Ray, because I've got to entertain people. And I just did. You know what happened? I'd never done Facebook Live.
Yeah.
So I put the live button on and thought, what the hell's going to happen here? I've never done it. I've stayed away from that. I just all of a sudden, bang, 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 comment. And I thought, what the hell am I going to do here?
Yeah,
I don't know what. So. Because, when you play the saxophone, you can't play saxophone. You can play unaccompanied, but it doesn't mean much. You need a band. So I sat down at my piano. I don't even play very well. And I just kind of knocked out a few tunes, and every day now I'm getting a little bit, I play piano for myself, but I'm getting better. And I'm basically sitting on the piano playing a few tunes that people want to hear, you know.
You now know I want to hear you playing a tune, right? You now know that, right?
No, it's
I'm just throwing it out there because you know what? My brother, right? He plays piano and sings. He's been doing it all his life, and I always found this with musicians. If give a musician an audience and away they go, they'll just do their thing because it's what you love, right?
Well, that's absolutely true, and we've got to do it. And the great thing is, I make it a bunch. Sometimes I'll start a song someone wants to hear, and then I can't remember the middle and whatever. But so I'll abandon it, and I make a joke out of it. And also, I realize in this climate now, no one's judging. You know, I've had professional piano players that I know looking at me playing. I'm saying, "Oh my God, this guy's in the house. He plays like Oscar Peterson." And people, we're just all laughing. We're laughing with each other. We're not trying to be judgmental. So I love the coffee mornings. I'm doing another one tomorrow. You know, so they're great fun. You know,
I think that's you hit on something there though, because we've been talking to a few people, and they're all in their houses, like I am here. We're all stuck in our houses, and all the it's almost like we pulled the curtain back so you can see into the actual person. It's kind of nice to see as well, you know. I mean, I hope it doesn't last forever. We'd like to get back to whatever normality is, but it's nice to see while we have it. I mean, watching you there in your kitchen, it's cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, you know, it's these coffee mornings with Ray, I've had private messages and people have actually said, I'm on my own and it's keeping me sane. And it's really it's touching me, actually. It's actually completely touching the way people want me to do it. And I thought, they're just seeing someone bashing out bad piano playing. But I can...
It's that connection. It's that bloody connection.
Yeah, and I pick my sax up and play, because obviously I'm a much better saxophone player, not piano player. So, but it's just the connection, you know, like you just said.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares what you're doing. You're just there and you're chatting away. I mean, let's face it though, you've done some big gigs. I mean, what was it? Paul McCartney's wedding, Richard Branson's house, some woman called the Queen. I think you played in front of her. I've heard of her. And so, I mean, these are big profile gigs, right? I mean, you get a buzz for those, I'm sure. I mean, compared to what you're doing now, though, it's a different buzz, isn't it?
It's a different buzz, but you know, all those gigs we were saying, you know, the McCartney thing, and we did play for the Queen twice, which was fun, and these celebrity things, they're not. And we opened for Robbie Williams at the Albert Hall when he did his Swing While You're Winning. He saw that. Nice, but you know, to be honest, those things were nice and they're nice for the CV, but I like gigs for the people. I like to work in a nice club or a nice festival where you're playing just for people like us, and you know, I'm a people's musician. You know, I really am someone that likes to get it in front of the people. So the celeb dues are nice, and they're nice money, and they're nice for the CV. But to play for regular people is what I'm all about. You know,
your band is
I'm stirring my rice now. By the way, I've got to taste a little.
Go for it.
Yeah,
I was just going to say, your band, the guys that play all the wind and everything behind you, they're so tight, aren't they? It's loose tight, but it's real. They're tight.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it without them. We call it the Ray Gelato Giants, and they're some of the best musicians I've ever heard in my life. I mean, they inspire me to really want to play. They're marvelous. I mean, the piano player's been there for over, I think, 18 years. Wow. Trombone player and trumpet player, 20 years. We've all been together a long time. I mean, it's not the original lineup that I started with, but it's a brotherhood in my band, and they are great players. But like you say, we don't kind of rehearse it to make it ultra tight, but it's got I like that American feel, that kind of looseness.
That's what I was just going to say. It looks like they just showed up. They have a rough idea of what they're doing, but everything is still on point, right? Nobody messes up. It's almost like, oh yeah, we'll give it a try and see what happens, and everything just happens to work perfectly. And that's what I like about it. I think that's really nice.
Exactly. Well, you know what it is.
Like your dinner there. A little bit like the dinner.
It's a working band. Yeah. You know, it's we're one of the. There's not so many working bands left anymore. We're still out there doing it, and you know, and we will be doing it once this is over with. And I hope it's over with pretty quick. You know, I really do. Yeah. I don't really want to dwell on that today because it's
no, exactly. I'm the same. You just want to keep positive and keep looking forward. You know.
Keep positive and looking forward. And you know what, I look at it this way: human beings, we're all very resourceful in the end, and we'll find a way out of this. We're more resourceful than people, and once our backs are against the wall, we find new ways of doing things. We're all having to do that. You're having to do that. I'm having to do that.
I'm totally with you.
That's it.
When this is all over, I know you come down to Italy quite a bit, and you come down Sicily way and everything. You're going to visit us in Malta sometime, because come on, we'd love to have you down here.
I would love to, you know, if we do something in Italy, once it's back on its feet again, I'll talk to you, because I'd love to come to Malta. I've never been. I'd even love to come with my family on a holiday, because everyone tells me how lovely it is over there.
We'll show you around, man. We'll show you around. It's not that big. It'll only take a day. You'll be all right. Half a day.
What's the food there? Tell me, what's the kind of, I don't know anything about the cuisine. What is it?
A lot of rabbit. Big into the rabbit. A lot of what they call pastizzis, which are kind of like meat pies. And that's a real staple of the diet. Yeah. There's a lot of vegetable, a lot of legumes, that kind of thing. Very filling, very hearty meals. A lot of that.
Wonderful. You can have a look at my rice. Here it is.
Let's have a look.
On now.
You see, that's just making me hungry.
You know what you've got to do? You've got to get that a little bit overcooked. It's not like a risotto. You've got to get it overcooked so it sticks together.
Okay.
Then you've got to chill it for a couple of hours. And then you put it in the balls and put some cheese in the middle. Then put it in egg and breadcrumbs and fry it. You know, it's a labour of love. This.
I was just going to say that there's quite a bit involved in that. It's not just meatballs and rice, is it, or anything? No, it's fair play.
Oh. It's a tough thing to make.
And a little bit of that with it. What would you have with that to help it wash down? Red wine.
Nice red. Of course, yeah. I got the red wine here as well.
Good man.
See it? Hang on a minute.
Yeah, I see it.
Little old wine drinker me.
Hey. Ray Gelato, go have your dinner. It's been an absolute joy. Thanks for checking in with us today. Really appreciate it.
What a great pleasure, guys. And listen, all keep well, and I'll come back on the show again, and let's keep moving forward. Thank you for having me.